Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hobbit's recreation of the final battle, but in the NFL. In a Madden NFL football game, the players are hyped up, all the dwarves and elves, against the tall goblins and orcs. The crowd is getting pumped up. There are fireworks, maybe from Gandalf's magic, like that he used to chase away the wolves and wargs. And here is Gandalf, the quarterback for the miners. The Sacramento Miners, we're calling them, because they are mining for gold. Led by Coach. Should be Gandalf. And here's the San Diego Red Dragons, led by, of course, Smaug the Red Dragon, who owns this mountain and does not want it to be mined, with the goblins who also want this gold. Players getting ready pre-game here. Smaug will be at quarterback and coach for the Red Dragons. And here is Orc. And Orc is ready to kick off here. And we are going to get into this. It's 4-minute quarters. We're going to go into our Super Sim and we're just going to watch this. We're going to commentate. And let me know in the comments who you guys think is going to win this game. It's going to be an interesting battle. A clash of a couple of opposites. And we're just going to watch. So the Red Dragons are going to kick it off. The Miners are going to receive here. In blue and gold, they're going to run it out. With, I believe, a dwarf or an elf. And he will get tackled at the 15-yard line. And out will come Gandalf. And the Wood Elves and Lake Men on this offense. The defense is led by mostly some of the 13 and 14 dwarves. There's Gandalf's season stats so far. To this point in the season, the Miners are 9-4 and the Red Dragons are 7-6. So they are having a better season here, the Miners. They won the first matchup as these two teams are in the same division, so this is their second matchup. This time on the Miners' home field. And here we go, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Gandalf. Gonna take a check down onto the right side. And it doesn't look like anyone's there. It's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. Out of the shotgun again. See if they run the ball, maybe. You can see the Lake Man holding up in protection. Good protection. Good throw for the middle. An open receiver. That is Bard. Bard is going to be doing the dirty work here, as he did killing Smaug in the Hobbit story. Bard with a 25-yard gain out to the 40-yard line. Look at that. Wide open in the middle. Nobody even in the screen. But then the Dragons were able to close the gap, but not before a player was stiff-armed. That is McMillan. He should not be playing. He's one of the backups. He was stiff-armed by Bard. Now, back at the shotgun here. Doesn't look like they're going to be running anytime soon. We got a gun bunch here. Throw from Gandalf out to the left side. That's going to be Bjorn, the shapeshifter Bjorn. As you can see, last week he did well, and he's done well throughout the course of the season with 1,091 yards. A 7-foot-tall monster that helped the Miners win this battle in the book. He's a 98 overall, and he's going to be tough to guard for the Red Dragons. It's going to be a 2nd and 2 now under center. Finally not a shotgun. It's a play action, and it's going to be a check down to Bard. Bard's going to be the leading receiver so far, as Gandalf is going 3 for 4 for 42 yards. A solid start to the game for him. And you look at that. He read the field and took his check down. Everything else seemed somewhat covered. You just gotta get some yards. Doesn't matter if you get a big play all at once or if you get it methodically and check downs and such. As leading this Red Dragons defense, speaking of who's leading the Red Dragons defense, he comes in on the blitz, forces a quick throw, almost intercepted there. That was the Orc Azog, number 47, I believe. He is a 95 overall. He is the most fierce goblin, killing Thorin in the movie, and a good stuff on a 2nd and 10 run, only a yard for Bard. That is not a good carry. The offensive line could not hold up against the goblins and orcs. 3rd and 9 now from the gun. Gandalf, big 3rd down around midfield. He's going to lob it up, and he's going to have his man. It's going to be a Wood Elf, I believe, on a deep route, getting behind the defense with his quickness. That was one advantage that the dwarves probably had over the big goblins, was quickness, as they are little small dwarves that are shifty and quick. Look at that perfect throw right over the head of the defender. Gandalf captaining this team with some magic, as always. Now a first and goal from the 5, out of the gun bunch. Bunch to the left, Bjorn at the far side. Gandalf's looking his way, he's going to throw it into the end zone, and it's going to be caught in double coverage by, it looks like, a wood elf from the Wood Elves post in Mirkwood, coming to help in the battle, and Gandalf's going to throw a dart into double coverage there, almost double coverage, and the Miners will take a quick lead, get the ball first, and they will be up 6-0, with now Bilbo Baggins, a 5'5" Hobbit, attempting the extra point. He is the kicker here. Can Bilbo Baggins make it? He's got it up. He's got it good. It's 7-0 Miners. Good drive there from them. They were able to get a quick lead. Gandalf captaining the team to some big gains. One to Bard, one to the Wood Elf, and then the same Wood Elf caught the touchdown. And he held onto the ball through a big hit from McMillan, who for some reason is in the game. Now a kickoff to the Red Dragons. And this returner is gang tackled with a 20. There's a penalty too. Okay, we've got a holding on the receiving team. They did get a better return than the Miners, but it was negated by this penalty. Back to the 10-yard line, half the distance to the goal. So now Smog's got to go 90 yards. He's under center with 3 tight ends in the game. Handoff to the random orc, I believe. There's a flag after a gain of about a yard. What is this? Oh, these Red Dragons want to hold a lot. They're holding the gold. And it's a half the distance penalty, so at least it doesn't back them up too much. Half the distance to the goal line. 1st and 15, another run. And this one's not going to get anything. They'll say a yard for random orc. Good tackle there on the perimeter by... Was it Balin or... It was one of the dwarves there. And now this will bring us to the end of the first quarter of play. You can see the stats there. 84 passing yards to nothing. We have not seen Smog throw a pass yet. And each team only has 1 rushing yard. We might see a battle of quarterbacks here between Smog and Gandalf, the leaders of their respective teams. Now, a 2nd and 14. They're probably going to throw here. They are. Oh, pressure's getting in. He's being chased. Smog takes the check down. And it looks like the orc is going to truck somebody there. Only get 4 yards. Smog with a good athletic play there to gain some yards. Now it's a 3rd and 9. This is very convertible for Smog and his 99 overall arm. He throws it over the middle into coverage. Great throw over there in the middle to his receiver, the Goblin, number 2. This random Goblin ran a decent route, but the throw, look at that throw, leads him away from the defender. You could not throw that any better. Smog with an absolute dart, just like the arrow that hit him in the hollow of the left breast. Now they're coming up to the line here with under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Under center, heavy running formation. They're going to run it. They're going to give it off. And they're not going to get too much. 2 yards. Not awful. It's not that great blocking. Now we got a bunch to the far left here. A gun bunch. And Smog's going to throw it pretty quickly, but it's off target just by a bit. Couldn't hit his receiver there over the middle. It's not something you see from a 99 overall quarterback too much. Now he's got a 3rd and 8 here. We've seen him convert a 3rd down once before here. Now what's he going to do? He's going to run. Oh, look at Smog with the 99 speed and trucking. He's going to truck some defenders, but he's only going to get 6 yards. It's going to bring it to a 4th and 2. And despite Smog's best efforts to do it himself, it looks like the Red Dragons are going to be punting here. And the Miners are coming out in full punt block sellout. And it's going to be kicked up. And yep, it's going to go back to the Miners. They're going to return it for maybe a yard. Great gang tackle there by the Red Dragons. And out comes Gandalf to try to add to the lead right before halftime here in the final 2 minutes. 2-minute drill, they call it. What magic does he have up his sleeve now? From the 19-yard line, he'd have to go 81 yards in 2 minutes for the touchdown. Seems unlikely, but you never know. They could also get into field goal range with Bilbo Baggins. Short throw over the middle, open receiver there. That's going to be number 9. That's going to be a Wood Elf. He's going to run after the catch for the first down. There were a couple of open receivers there. And they were able to get him to the ground. Lots of Red Dragons converging on that one. Lots of orcs and goblins. And on a Thursday night game here, we've got a 1st and 10. The Miners will go up to the line, out of the gun. Gandalf, oh, on the run, off his back foot. A good throw to his receiver, the Wood Elf, who does drop it in triple coverage. The ball was swatted away. Good play by the Red Dragons defense. Good throw. Good attempt to catch. Another gun play. 2nd and 10. Oh, there's a nice defensive play again. Almost intercepted there. Gandalf's got to be careful here. He does not want to give the Red Dragons any more momentum here. He does not want to give them a chance for a field goal at the end of the half. Oh, he's under pressure. He's being chased. He is sacked by the pressure of the orcs and goblins. Crumbles under the pressure. That does not happen much in the book. But wise old Gandalf with his 40 speed could not escape that. A good play here, and on 4th and 16, the Niners are left with no choice but to punt. It will be a Wood Elf punting, received there by an Orc, who returns it up to the 36. So, not a horrible field position. They'll have 2 timeouts here, the Red Dragons will. And they're at the 36, so I don't think they're going 64 yards in a minute with 2 timeouts. So they're probably just going for field goal range, which they do have a pretty good kicker. I believe it's an Orc. He could probably kick it in. Now a bunch to the right. Here's Smog. Lane to run maybe. Throws it underneath. Good decision there. Picks up about 9 yards on a check down. A perfect throw also. And Smog, I mean, he's 7 feet tall. He can see over his own offensive line. He can see over the dwarves, the little elves and dwarves. He's got a clean pocket here. And you know, if a 99 overall quarterback has a clean pocket, he's going to make an accurate throw, which he does. Over the middle. On a sitting down route in the middle, kind of just standing in between the zones. Sappy play there by the Orc or the Goblin. And a timeout used. They're up to the 43. They're pretty close to field goal range already. Another first down, and I'd say they've got it. Maybe even going for the touchdown here. Smog in the pocket. Off balance throw. It's almost intercepted. You gotta be careful there, Smog. It's broken up there in double coverage. And this brings up a second down. Smog's got to make sure to maybe run himself if he's going to be off balance like that. Again, a pretty good pocket. He's going to try to run, but he's going to be sacked by Balin the Dwarf. And the clock's going to run. It's going to be 3rd and 12, only he did escape up the pocket a little bit. But Balin made sure to set the edge, and he got off his block. And even at defensive tackle, at 5'5", he was able to bring down Smog. He grabbed him by the thigh, and he brought him down like a tree there. And it looks like Coach Gandalf there seems happy on the sideline with that. Or is that Coach Smog? I'm not 100% sure. Now, the clock's run all the way down to 21 seconds. I don't know what the Red Dragons do, but Smog makes a nice pass there. Deep down the field for a 30-yard gain to his receiver there, the Orc. And now they call the timeout with 14 seconds. They're up at the 15-yard line. They got to be careful not to get tackled in bounds in order to waste time. They're going to throw it over the middle. That was a risky play, but it turns into a touchdown for the random Orc. And they've scored a touchdown with little to no time left in the half. Smog brought them down the field. If he was tackled in bounds there at around the 2-yard line, like it looked like he might be, the clock would have run and the time would have ran out because they had no timeouts left. But able to get into the end zone there with a nice shifty move up the middle. And this extra point is to tie the game from the random Orc. Right down the middle, we have got equality, folks, and it will be the Red Dragons receiving the ball to start the second half as the Miners started the game. That is how you play a good game. You kick the ball off, you give up the touchdown, yes, but you completely lock them down the rest of the game. You go back and forth a little bit, and then you get the tie, and now you're getting the ball to start the second half. Now, 10 seconds left with 3 timeouts. They are going to return the ball. The Miners, they're only going to get to the 18, so they should probably just kneel this, as it looks like they will. They will kneel the clock out. With 6 seconds, you're just not going to get downfield into field goal range, and you're only risking giving the other team their field goal range. And just like that, Gandalf kneels, and we will go to the halftime. And I think both teams should be somewhat happy. There you go. The Miners have had more snaps. Less rush yards on way more rush plays, it looks like. I don't really get that one. I thought I saw more. But yeah, there's the rest of the NFL. It's just the regular NFL, and then these are the Browns and Bengals that relocated. The Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals that had to relocate and get taken over because they're poor franchises that neither of them have ever won a Super Bowl. And yes, I mean, both teams should be somewhat happy. Their defenses showed some flashes. Their offenses have shown some flashes. It's a close game. I think the Red Dragons are sitting in the good spot because they get the ball first, and they've got the momentum with that touchdown. But, you know, it looked that way in the Battle of the Five Armies also, and look what happened. Bjorn came up big. We haven't seen Bjorn do much this game. He's only had 1 catch. And when he gets on, he'll get on. Like, he'll be mossing defenders. He'll be jumping up and catching it in midair. He'll be taking over the game. So, it looks like it's been a good game plan so far by the Red Dragons to limit him. As we have, yep, you can see the Miners have thrown it short quite a bit, 57% of the time. yeah, they're just forcing them to take the short checkdowns, which we're working a little bit to Bard and such, and that Wood Elf for the touchdown. But here we go, second half. Red Dragons returning it. Good juke move by the returner there, the Goblin. Brought down there. And they're out to the 22. Not a horrible kickoff return. And here comes Smog, getting coached up by his backup quarterback. I don't know how that really works. Whereas to Smog is an absolute beast out here. They're coming out in the I form with a fullback there, the Goblin. They're going to give it to the running back. The Orc is going to go up the middle, get 4 yards. That's not a bad carry. We'll set up a 2nd and 6. You can do lots of things on 2nd and 6. You can run it again. You can throw it. Take that shot. The hard count there. Another run there. Oh, and they break it loose. They go up the middle and they get 13 yards. There was an open lane up the middle there for the Orc. And now he's got 4 rushes for 20 yards, which is an average of 5 yards a carry, which is a good average for sure. He carried a defender there. And this defensive Dwarves have got to step up. They were good the first drive, and they've seemed all right, forcing some third downs. But man, they've got to step up at some point here. Smog and this running back, they're starting to get rhythm, and there they go. They stop him in the backfield. It was another run to the York. And they've got 2 or 3 guys in the backfield, including Thorin Oakenshield there, shooting the gap, coming in hot, number 41 there. And we had some other guys too, but Thorin Oakenshield, the leader of the 13 Dwarves, and Bilbo. He started the expedition. It was his ancestors that he was most closely related to get this gold, so he is determined. 2nd and 13 now. Another run. Will they give it up? They will not. They hand it off to the Orc again. He gets carried for 43 yards off the left side. Sorry, 5 yards off the left side of the 43-yard line. Good blocking from the Wargs on the offensive line. 3rd and 7 from the gun. Can they convert this? It looks like they've got the first down there, but there is a flag. It was a nice curl route, quick throw by Smog. And roughing the passer on the defense. They should definitely accept that. It would be a first down anyway, but they're going to get 15 extra yards for that penalty. You cannot rough Smog, even though he's roughed your entire bloodline and taken all your gold. You cannot rough him in this game. 1st and 10. Oh, a nice play action and throw from Smog. That's what you like to see. 18 yards over the middle of the field. The receiver was open, and the ball was delivered on a rope. Look at that bullet pass. In stride, the receiver catches it, never breaks stride, keeps running like normal. That is the type of quarterbacking that you want to model your game after. That is the type of quarterbacking that you would record and you would say, I want to be like this, but that's what you get from a 99 overall quarterback like Smog. He's going to throw again, clean pocket, underneath to that running back, the Orc. He likes that running back, the Orc, that's for sure. Now Smog's 9 for 11 for 115 yards and a touchdown. That was a gain of 2. It looks like there were some other open receivers that he maybe missed, but I like the idea there. He had the guy in front to maybe block. Maybe he just led him a little bit too far to the sideline, and Orc had to step out of bounds. 3rd quarter almost over. Hard count there. Oh, under center. They're going to drop back. 5-step drop and throw. Oh, no, they're going to run. Smog's going to run up the middle for the first down himself and then slides down. Wonder why he didn't truck the defense, but I guess he's scared. He's being safe here. Wants to keep the ball just like he wants to keep his gold. Slides with the ball, makes sure to hold on to it, and look at that. Now it looks like the Red Dragons are just dominating. If you look at this, everything but the score on that end of third quarter chart. They've had the ball the entire 3rd quarter. And here they go in the 4th quarter on a 1st and goal from the 6. Smog, clean pocket from the gun. Good throw over the middle. Touchdown to the running back, Random Orc. That running back is having an insane game. This running back is absolutely killing it. That is his 2nd receiving touchdown. Look at that. Just throws it on a dime, in stride between... There were 3 defenders trailing that play. It had to be thrown in stride, and Smog delivered with accuracy, with power on the throw. And the Red Dragons, deservedly so, are about to be up. This extra point's good. They are up 14-7. That drive took 4 minutes and a second. 4 minutes and 4 seconds, I think, really. Well, there was the kickoff return that took some time off that. And speaking of kickoff returns, here come the Miners. And the Dragons' kick coverage, the Red Dragons' kick coverage has been much better, if you haven't noticed. They've been tackling these kick returners much quicker than the Miners have. And now the pressure's all on Gandalf. He hasn't really touched the field in quite a while, except for the kneel down. He's watched Smog execute 2 touchdown drives without having the chance to do it himself, and that's why I like taking the ball to start the second half and not to start the game. But at any rate, Smog with a nice, it's a fumble! It's a fumble and picked up by the Red Dragons, and it's a touchdown! Random Goblin picks it up. It was a check down from Gandalf, I meant to say. A check down from Gandalf to the flat route. Number 81, I believe that was Dane. Yep, it was Dane. He fumbled in the previous matchup, and he was absolutely hit stick by the random goblin, and that same random goblin picked it up and scored. That is the triple crown, the forced fumble, the fumble recovery, and the touchdown return. And the Red Dragons are absolutely dominating this game now. They've broken it open. They are looking to pound the Miners into submission. That was an exceptional play. Wow, Gandalf did not deserve that. He made a nice check down throw, but that Dane was just isolated out there. Dane was cold. He came in cold. That was his first catch of the game. It's just like the battle. He came in just in the middle of this whole feud and then started the whole battle. And now the Miners are under immense pressure. Not only do they have to score likely a touchdown this drive, but they have to do it quickly. Probably before the 2-minute warning, so that they get the clock stoppage at the 2-minute warning to try to stop the Red Dragons. So Gandalf's going to have to engineer a quick drive. Maybe this is time to use your outstanding weapon, Bjorn. They're pressed up on him in coverage. Gandalf tries to take a 10-yard, 9-yard throw, but it's broken up by the Red Dragons. The Red Dragons' coverage has gotten tighter and tighter this entire game. Since the first drive, really, their coverage has really just been so tight. They had one open receiver let open, but really, I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's a fumble. It's a fumble. Picked back up. It was a fumble. And another fumble. What is happening? It's picked up by the Red Dragon. Oh, and he falls down. Oh my goodness. Azog with a fumble recovery. They forced a fumble on Gandalf in the pocket on a sack, and then it was picked back up by an offensive lineman, and then he fumbled the ball with 2 guys raking at the football and absolutely surrounding him, and now the Red Dragons take over at the 15-yard line. This is insane. This Red Dragons defense is playing out of their minds. 3 forced fumbles on 3 plays, 2 in the same play. This is wild, and now how could Smog mess this up? He's going to have a pocket. He's going to have a pretty good tight throw. It's a tight throw. Maybe could have been intercepted, actually. But a good catch there by number 80. And that's going to be a 10-yard gain. It was thrown on a rope. Only number 80 could get his head around. Oh my goodness. Gandalf is not happy with this, as he should not be. Clock's running. They're going to probably take it down. Chew some clock. Take the play clock down. First and goal from the 5-yard line. Trying to put it away, run to the random Orc down to the 2-yard line, looking for his 3rd touchdown of the game. And now we'll see if they take this clock down to the 2-minute warning. This game's basically over, unless they fumble, which we've seen fumbles are possible in this game. But wow. These Smog-led Red Dragons, it was the defense that made a huge difference, along with Smog's excellent throws as well. And now they're going to run it to random Orc, and a good defensive play there. Have to see who that was. And they're going to call a timeout. The Miners will, looking to maybe somehow stop this Red Dragons offense of these Orcs and Goblins and Smog. Maybe get the ball back. And now here's Smog over the middle. Touchdown on the curl route. Saw where the defender was. Threw it away from him. Got the receiver touchdown. It's random Goblin with the touchdown. And Smog is absolutely wheeling and dealing these passes now. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdown passes for Smog the Magnificent. And the Goblins can celebrate. The Orcs on the sideline. Azog there. Really happy about that one. And now the extra point to put them up 28-7. Do you remember when the Miners took the opening drive down the field? It looked like they were going to get this win. Their offense was on fire. They just, Gandalf had so many good throws. And it's not like Gandalf's even played poorly here. Other than, I guess you could put the fumble on him. But, in terms of his throwing, it hasn't been terrible. I mean, the Red Dragons defense is just swarming at this point. Another good kick coverage play. I mean, 6'10" guys against 5'5" guys. Like, they let them beat them with speed the first time. But, like, overall, like, the size advantage is showing up here. I mean, Gandalf's 6'6". Like, he's got to use that to his advantage. And then Bjorn's 7 feet. You got to throw it to Bjorn more, man. He's only thrown to him once. They'll throw it short. It looks like they're just conceding this one. They are going to go no huddle. It's going to be, that was a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 from the gun. Check down there to Bard. Clock still running. First down, though. First down. There's a penalty also. Oh, it's a face mask. So you're going to tack on 15 yards for the Miners, and that's going to stop the clock. So that's somewhat significant.
Automatic first down.
It's an automatic first down. And then, yeah, that adds on to the catch Bard had. And instead of the clock running down maybe another 15 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, it's going to stop. So here is Gandalf over the middle. There's Bjorn with a catch. Oh, he flips over. Takes lots of work to get him on the ground. 3 guys. And now we got the clock running again. Gandalf going quick. Play action. Time in the gun. Oh, and that's intercepted. A deep throw. Picked off. Here go the goblins. They're running the other way also with it. And here goes a random goblin to the end zone for the pick 6. He went all the way. He picked it off. He was lurking in the backfield there. Lurking deep in the secondary. Jumped up and made an athletic play at 6'10" and got an 80-yard pick 6. Number 21. That is the same goblin I just remembered that had the hit stick and he had the hit, the forced fumble, and the fumble recovery to the end zone. That's his 2nd defensive touchdown for the same individual player. And the extra point makes it 35-7. This is a rout. I expected this to be close. In the real battle, it did seem like the Red Dragons were winning. The side with the goblins and the wolves. But it was never this bad, and Bjorn was able to come back, and now it's almost physically impossible. You'd need several onside kicks to come back here. And, yeah, even with that, it's like impossible. So, we'll see what the Miners will do here. Will they just give up here? Probably. Gandalf, he has not been magical. Like, I can't really blame this on his receivers anymore. Like, he threw that interception there. I mean, it was a good play, sure. And I guess he was getting desperate at the end of the game, but 7 points, though, in the end. Like, yeah, sure. Those weren't your fault, those fumbles, but they turned into instant touchdowns, so you had a chance to respond also. And he throws to Bjorn, far left side, and it's incomplete. Bjorn caught it, but couldn't get 2 feet in bounds. 3rd and 5 now. See what happens here. Does he have one more magical 3rd down conversion in him? He does. Good throw there. Like, he's not a terrible quarterback in a timeout with 29 seconds. It was a good throw there. Like, it would seem like the Wood Elf was covered, right? And then he just kind of let him back. He made him come back to the ball with kind of the shorter throw. Like, that's a savvy play. That's a smart play. You can tell he's a wise wizard with that one. Here he is from the pocket. A pretty clean pocket. And there's a good throw. There's a good rope throw. That's what we want to see more of from Gandalf. And a timeout all the way down to the 35. Timeout with 20 seconds left. Found the open area in the zone and picked his spot. And now under a little bit of pressure, sack for random goblin. And now the time runs all the way to triple zeros. Good game, folks. The Red Dragons, led by Magnificent Smog and Azog the Orc, were able to defeat this team of unlikely heroes such as Bilbo Baggins and his underdog dwarf friends, the small wood elves, the human lake men. They're only human, you know that. Their offensive line, they didn't play terribly, I don't think. A few times they let a little bit too much pressure come in. Maybe that was part of the reason that the Miners lost, because the lake men were at offensive line. But Smog played an excellent game, throwing 3 touchdown passes, and the defense just balled out. That one random goblin, number 21, had 2 defensive touchdowns, including a forced fumble. So yeah, I mean, I think the reason the Miners lost this game was because they got up early, and then they just got maybe a little bit too complacent, and the Red Dragons just figured them out on offense. Like, they figured out their plan, they figured out what they were doing, And, yep, so that means the San Diego Red Dragons will take this game. Shapeshifter Bjorn was the top threat, as you can see. But he was not much of a threat this game, unlike in the book. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and Saturday Ticket, me, I will see you next time.